Welcome to Sib Spot. Today's stories are from Am I the Butthole? Story 1 is by Silver Pincat. Am I the butthole for wanting to spend time with just my husband and 2 children? I'm a 31 female and my husband is 41. We have 5 children. Rebecca, who's 14 female, Sam, 12 male, Dave, 10 male, George, 2 male, and Harry, 1 male. Rebecca, Sam, and Dave are my stepchildren, husband's children from his first marriage, and George and Harry are our biological kids. All 5 children live with us full-time. I have been the 3 older kids' mother figure for almost 8 years now and have a good relationship with them. They see their biological mother every second Saturday for a couple hours in the afternoon. Their choice to see her that much. There are no court orders. Their mother is unable or unwilling to take care of them on a short or long-term basis. When I say that I am the mother figure to Rebecca, Sam, and Dave, I mean I am there for them to listen to issues and normal teen stuff they may want to vent on. I do the cooking, cleaning, clothes washing, etc., and all the general things a mom does in the home. They are responsible for keeping their own rooms clean. Husband is, of course, a supportive dad and is there to help them as well. My husband and I split the cleaning 50-50 pretty much. However, I do 95% of the cooking. The older 3 do not babysit their younger siblings, and I do not think that it's fair to ask that of them. Recently, in addition to spending quality time as a family of 7, I've also been wanting to spend time with just me, my husband, George, and Harry. My husband and I discussed this and are both in agreement that this can happen. Even though we have discussed this, every time an opportunity has come up to spend time with just the 4 of us, all 7 family members come along. I have gone along with this and allowed it to happen on these occasions, but I can feel myself getting frustrated that I have expressed a need and it keeps getting ignored. Just to clarify, I don't want all events to be just me, my husband, Harry, and George. I am only asking for it to happen occasionally. I want to have family time for all 7 of us to hang out and would be more than happy for that to happen 90% of the time. So, am I the butthole for wanting this? It seems to me like most of the comments say you're the butthole in this. I can understand why they would say that, but I don't think that you're a butthole for wanting that. I think it would be completely reasonable if you sent 3 kids to their mother's house for a little while so that you guys could have some time together. But I think it should just be you and your husband to have some alone time and get away from the kids for a bit. You need to have bonding time with your husband. It's not a butthole thing to want what you want, but it is neglectful in a few ways to exclude kids from trips or vacations. Underneath in the comments is one I wanted to share by Capio Corpus. You're the butthole. While you are not a butthole per se, you are being exclusionary of your children. You have married into a relationship with a man that already has children. Going on a vacation and leaving the other children behind is favoritism. I don't think it's fair of you to exclude the other children from being with their siblings. They are a part of your family, and that's what you are accepting by marrying a partner with children. You're allowed to have intimate conversations with a child alone, but planning family trips and excluding your other children is neglect. I agree with him right there. I don't think that you're really the butthole for wanting it. But if you did go through with it, you might be the butthole. But though I don't think that you'd just be abandoning them at home. Maybe you guys could just go out to a dinner with the 4 of you and the mother can take care of the 3 children of her own for a couple hours. Just so that you guys have some time to yourselves. But I don't know. This is a pretty complicated one. If you're going to acknowledge that you're the mother figure, for all intents and purposes, then you should be willing to take them with you on every trip. They should be included in everything. But I've never been in that situation before, so I feel like in that situation I would want something similar. Just me and my biological family. Our next story is by Icy Cantaloupe 4063. Am I the butthole for letting my brother and family stay with me after a flooding, but not my niece? I'm a 37 male and have been married to my husband, 41 male, for 4 years. I came out to my family as bi when I was 16, and from the very beginning, they were nothing but supportive, and to this day, almost my entire family accepts me for who I am. My niece, who's a 20 female, is the only exception. She is my brother's, who's 43 male, daughter, and despite her parents showing no prejudices against the LGBTQ+ community, she doesn't make a secret of her homophobia. I don't know where her beliefs stem from, but the day I first introduced my husband and then boyfriend to her family, she had been very hostile towards us. She was 14 at the time. She refuses to speak to my husband, barely acknowledges us at family gatherings, and despite her father constantly chastising her, frequently uses the F slur to refer to members of the LGBTQ+ community and calls same-sex relationships disgusting. Due to a severe flooding, my brother and his family have been forced to evacuate their home. My husband and I have a guest room and a sofa bed in our living room, so when my brother asked me whether his family could stay at our place for a while, I told him his wife and their younger children, 15 female and 12 male, were very welcome to stay as long as they needed to, but that we weren't comfortable letting his oldest daughter stay with us. He seemed to have been expecting that answer and told me that he understood my reasons. When he broke the news to his daughter, she was furious, asking where she was going to stay and that she had nowhere else to go. From what I know, my brother offered to help her pay for a cheap hotel, but she doesn't want to dip into her savings because she doesn't work and she's been living with my brother rent-free. Apparently, she's been staying with a friend for a couple days now, and she's been telling her mother how awful it is there. My brother is still supporting my decision, but his wife has started trying to convince me to let her eldest daughter move in. She's been pushing me to get over her comments because my niece is still young and naive, and that she couldn't have known her actions would have major consequences. She's advising me to be the bigger person and not let my hard feelings for her daughter stop me from helping my family member, because that would be a butthole thing to do. So, am I the butthole? 100% not. And in this day and age, people who are that backwards deserve to feel the sting of not being welcomed into a comfortable home. She wants to come stay with you, she'd better show that she's changed massively. I don't blame you for not wanting to have somebody like that in your home, because a lot of these people who are that way are dangerous. And there's so much evidence of that happening in the world nowadays. Like, you can't trust somebody like that not to hurt somebody in some way. I think this is one we'll just have to file under F around and find out. She effed around. Granted, she was 14 at the time. Now she's finding out. This is the only way to prompt her to change in the future. This is her wake-up call to stop being a jerk to people just because she doesn't understand how they feel about each other. Keep her out of your house. Our last story is by FunSync3628. Am I the butthole for shrugging off my dad's wife being excluded by my friends' moms? My dad and Rebecca have been married since I, 16 male, was 7, and my sister, 15 female, was 6. Quick background. My parents were not divorced when my mom died, but they were going through a divorce. When they first separated, it was because my mom had changed a lot and she was undiagnosed with brain cancer at the time, which caused a lot of behavioral changes. I still remember how big those changes were. The diagnosis came just before she died. When my parents were separated, Dad met Rebecca and they got married 3 months after my mom died. They had pushed the wedding up since they were no longer waiting on the divorce. Rebecca has always had a very negative perception of Mom because Dad has told her about her behavior before they separated. She said our mom was a bad parent and she would make sure we know what a good mom looks like. From almost the beginning of their marriage, she called herself our mom. Years later, I found out she knew, back when she married my dad, that she couldn't have kids of her own. My sister and I have never liked Rebecca because of the stuff she says about Mom. Dad knows how we feel, and after he did some therapy, he would tell her to stop. But he also told us that we should understand that Rebecca loves us and feels like we deserve the best, and she might say the wrong thing because of that sometimes. With all that out of the way, I can explain the problem. I have a pretty big friend group. 6 of the moms of my friends have made their own little mom group where they can get together and vent and hang out. I think sometimes they use it to plan who will host or who will volunteer to chaperone some things. The moms in the group all know my sister and I do not consider Rebecca to be our mom and that we dislike her. My sister is also part of the friend group, so they know her feelings too. Rebecca wanted to join the group so many times over the years and was always kept out. Then, a month ago, Rebecca actually approached the moms when she saw them out for coffee together and asked why she was never welcomed in. They told her she was not a mom, so they weren't going to include her. She argued back that she's mine and my sister's mom. They said we say differently and that our opinion matters more. They also told her that they were never going to make things uncomfortable for the kids by including her, since it would mean she would be around the friend group for certain group stuff we've done together. Rebecca vented over dinner to us about it, and I shrugged her off when she asked what I had to say. The truth is, I don't feel the tiniest bit bad that she's been excluded, but she was angry, and Dad told me I should be kinder. Until she's kinder and acknowledges that their mother did some great things, that they love her for forever. No, you don't have to be kinder to her. It would be easier for everyone involved if you were kinder to her. Your dad is going to love this woman probably regardless of what you do. So it would be nice if you could learn to be kind to her. But she doesn't have to be in this little friend group. It's obvious that your sister doesn't want her in there. You don't want her in there. You don't just open the doors because she feels like being in there and she wants to be involved. It's completely fine to keep her out. If she changes, then you are welcome to let her in. But it's completely up to you. People can't just barge their way into something. Her behavior matters, and she caused this issue for herself. Today's stories have come to a close. If you enjoy this content, please click a like or subscribe. Remember that subscriptions cost nothing. I'm of the generation that thinks that the word subscription means it costs something. So it took me a couple years to get used to the idea that YouTube subscriptions don't cost a penny. Until we meet again, have a wonderful day.